Hello everybody and welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. This video, we're going to deep dive 12 troubling trends around Christmas that you are not going to believe people actually do. My name is Samantha and I'm going to be your host for the next 10 minutes, and get ready to just be shocked. You all know around the holidays, most people get very lonely if you're not married or have a lot of children or a huge family. There's a trend that began somewhere around 2019 called snowmanning. You heard me right. This trend says that people aged 18 to 44 tend to have casual sex 66% of the time around the holidays due to being lonely. The problem with this trend is less and less adults are using contraceptives and things like condoms to help from preventing STDs. So the CDC said come springtime, there is a huge rise in things like chlamydia, gonorrhea. So yes, let's stay away from something called snowmanning, which is basically just casually hooking up with someone so you don't have to be lonely through Christmas, through New Year's. The next one some of you may have actually seen. It is actually wrapping your car in Christmas lights. But here's the problem with this one.
Car in Christmas lights. Although drivers are just showing off their holiday spirit, okay? Police in Wyoming, this is what they're doing there. They're urging drivers, don't do this. In fact, they pulled one driver over for putting red or blue lights on a non-emergency vehicle. That's not legal. Here in Texas, there's no specific law about doing this, but Arlington police say it's dangerous because it could distract other
He
drivers.
wants to actually catch the eyes of the cops. So my suggestion to you is don't wrap your car in Christmas lights, folks. This is a very concerning trend that is happening on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It is parents having their children go up onto the roof of the home to hang Christmas lights to create content for their social media platforms. Here's the problem with this, folks. None of these children have on proper protective gear. None of these kids have harnesses on. What if they fall off these houses? And why do parents do it? Because it upsets people like you and I. We see this and we're like, that's a no-go. So what do? We comment. And when we comment, we drive the algorithm to push that content out, and that parent makes a buck off your concern for their children. You would think, me being a 70s baby and actually seeing my dad split his tongue in half with a firework, I grew up understanding there are two things that never go together: alcohol and fireworks. But obviously, the generations after us 70 babies, wrapped in bubble wrap, got a participation trophy, they didn't learn that lesson. If you don't like blood, don't watch this one section.
Blow that shit in my face, nigga. No! Bro, you good? Bro.
We are on the topic of alcohol. I don't think I need to tell everyone here not to drink and drive. But what I will tell you is that overdrinking is the number one reason people gain so much weight during winter. And that is a trend that none of us ladies and some of you gentlemen shouldn't get behind.
Hazards of Christmas. Doc, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Nora.
We're going to start, give her a hand. Number one, alcohol.
Yep. Really, everything follows from this. Of the 12 hazards, this is the number one. This is the cause of most of the problems that follow, all the mishaps and the occasional tragedies that we see at Christmas. Nearly all of them are associated with the booze. And the problem is that people completely underestimate the amount of alcohol contained in their drinks. I mean, for instance, this is the sum total of a woman's recommended alcohol intake for a whole week.
One bottle.
One bottle and a glass, basically. That would be about 14 units, which is the amount of alcohol that a woman is supposed to drink maximally.
Exactly, halfway through with this video. And if you're still around, I'd like you to take a second and drop in comments a trend that maybe you were part of in your younger years, or even maybe this year, that isn't so smart and you probably should never, ever do it again. We all know that Bidenomics has just ruptured people's pockets and their pocketbooks and their purses and their bank accounts and their credit cards and everything else, right? So here's a trend that's going around that could be deadly, and it's buying not cheap per se, cheaper, but cheaply made knockoffs to some of the most wanted brands. So say like hoverboards, e-bikes. What is the problem with that? Well, if you get it from a company that's not reputable, that isn't in the United States where you know it's gone through the proper safety, here's the problem. Lithium batteries are catching fire on these cheaply made e-bikes and hoverboards and, you know, like anything with a lithium battery. Now, something else that I saw is that a lot of these cheap knockoff brands that you're getting from places like China, they're being recalled for not only boron, but lead. So I really want you to think about that. Maybe you really wanted to get your baby this stuffed animal and it was $70 or $80 and you found a discount maybe on Temu. It's probably not the best idea or trend that you need to stick with. We're talking about safety. This one's going to catch you off guard. No more singing cards. You heard me right, folks. Singing cards come with this type of battery. And you may say, Sam, what's wrong with the button battery? Two things. If you saw my video the other day about don't touch the snow, well, batteries are alkaline, right? And the problem with that is when they're swallowed, they can lodge in the throat and immediately they begin to break down and you have this problem. Look at this beautiful little girl. She swallowed a button battery. It lodged here and it did extensive damage to her throat. Next problem, look what a button battery does after 2 hours in a fake stomach experiment. Now, just keep watching. Could you imagine that in the stomach of your pet or your child? They wouldn't be able to tell you. And the statistics are telling us that button batteries for children under 3 and pets are like one of the most dangerous things about Christmas. Trend that's been going around for quite a few years. It's like creating your own do-it-yourself gifts. If you do that, please, for the love of all things holy, do not use water beads. Don't give anybody a gift that has water beads. Yes, they're pretty. And yes, they continue to grow larger as they're left in fluid. So again, not only are they a choking hazard for children, but if they get into the stomach of a child and or a beloved pet, you may have a problem. Same goes for this slime. It's been a lot of recalls on this slime because what country's making it? China. Yeah, it's got a lot of boron in it, folks. And then kids are like, nom, 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 like kids do. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's not worth that stocking stuffer. Nice. Get rid of it. We're like 3/4 of the way done. I'm so excited. Okay, so here we go. We're on number 9. This one made me laugh and it also made me cringe like at the same time. I was like, ha! Okay, so you see people going outside and they're going to show you how cold it is where they live. And they take a pot of what? Boiling water and they sling it up into the air and there's this beautiful ice crystal as it falls to the ground. Except sometimes it doesn't go as planned.
I knew it! I'm sorry. Did you? Did you know it? Because if you knew it, why'd you do it? Why do people do this? Yes, if you throw boiling water in your face, it's gonna burn. God.
Get up.
I knew it!
And more. People are wanting to connect to the past. And what you're seeing is people are doing like these old English Christmases, and they're bringing games back from the 18th and the 19th century. You better be careful because you don't want to bring this game back.
Children's game that they used to play during Christmas around the 18th and 19th century. Essentially what this was you would get a dish of raisins or other little pieces of fruit, pour brandy all over it, and then light it on fire. And the kids would stick their fingers into the fire, pull out a piece of fruit, and pop it in their mouth with the fire still going, and they would close their mouth and the blue flame would extinguish. In 1709, Richard Steele wrote about this game, saying, "The wantonness of the thing was to see each other look like a demon as we burnt ourselves and snatched out the fruit." So dangerous. There was even a little song that went with it. I don't know what the melody was, but the lyrics go, "With his blue and lapping tongue, many of you will be stung. Snip, snap, dragon. For he snaps at all that comes, snatching at his feast of plums. Snip, snap, dragon."
Felt like with that one, that might have been something that a 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even you 90s babies might would have been exposed to, especially here in the South. Like, I kind of get why people would try it. I'm just saying, maybe it's just this me. One is kind of like two rolled into one. First off, there was these Chinese scientists that found that listening to songs, Christmas songs, had a certain beat to it, could really get you worked up while you were driving, and it wasn't safe. The song that we all believe they were probably talking about was Frosty the Snowman, okay? Now, you're not supposed to drive and listen to Frosty the Snowman, but you are definitely not supposed to hit snowmen with your cars.
Tried to run over a 9-foot snowman that he built outside of his home.
This towering triple stack of snowballs in northern Kentucky has a lot of character, much like the people who built it. This snowman was packed with purpose by Cody Lutz, his fiancée Lucy, and his soon-to-be sister-in-law. Lutz loves it so much that he took snowman building to the extreme, using a massive tree stump as the base for their top hat-topped creation.
I went to work on Monday, and I came home to this on Monday night, which is, the irony is pretty funny.
Someone saw the soon-to-be Lutz family's creation and tried to fracture Frosty with the front end of their truck. But they quickly realized their mistake when the plowed-away snow showed Frosty's roots.
Instant karma, Ken. It's hilarious. What goes around comes around.
Figured out what state is doing number 12, but I can tell you right now, this is, from somebody who's a recovered addict, the worst idea I've ever seen. It is called Christmas candles made out of brand new IV needles for drug users. And look, they come with directions on how to use the tinfoil on top to cleanly and properly cook your methamphetamines and or your fentanyl or your heroin or your cocaine. And they call them Christmas candles. I think we can all agree that is a trend that needs to stop. Here's your bonus. Please do not bring poinsettias, mistletoe, or holly berries into your home if you have small children coming over or pets. If you're going to hang tinsel on your Christmas tree, again, please don't if you have small children or pets. The same with those really hard metal hooks for glass ornaments. Guys, I know all of us were raised, God, I don't know how we lived, with those huge Christmas lights that would literally like catch the tree on fire and burn you so bad. I remember seeing people get electrocuted, because when they broke and you tried to change them, I don't know. Anyway, we also sprayed the foam all over our Christmas tree. They're now saying you can't do that anymore because if you have a real tree and you spray fake snow, they can't recycle it. That's how toxic the spray snow is. So maybe we'll just get rid of all those trends too. Love you guys. Have a Merry Christmas tomorrow. I just saw all of this and I thought, this is a video that my people need to see. My tribe needs to see this because we're going to row in each other's boats right into 2025 and we're going to have a great year. Remember, tomorrow is about the birth of Jesus. So when you wake up in the morning, tell your Lord and Savior, happy birthday. Love you guys. Which was that? Do you remember?
Was it?
You picked it out, huh?
You better not bite them off.
Oh no, Steve did good on the wrapping.